Hello everyone, welcome to my new office. It needs a little bit of work, it's a work in progress, but hello everyone. Let's see here. Wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to talk about, but I think there are a few things on my mind that I just want to get out there. So, there's my meditation alarm. So yeah, welcome to my new office. It's a work in progress. Some days I really feel like crap. And yesterday was one of those days where I did, and there wasn't a particular reason. I just felt like crap. And that's been the pattern for me lately, of just random days where I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel any motivation. I just binge watch YouTube videos, binge eat, and just like feel so numb in a way. Or I'm like trying to numb myself, And I think a lot of it has to do with just feeling overwhelmed and feeling like I have to be doing something in order to feel good about myself. And I know that still stems from a trauma of not being good enough ever when I was a kid. And that's why for me, it's like I always have to be proving myself to myself, my family, my friends, it's like a never-ending process until you just sit down and be present and realize that you're good. You have what you need. I think a lot of it yesterday was worrying about money and finances and just normal everyday stuff. And it kind of gets to you. But I woke up this morning, I had a bit of a slow start around 8 a.m. and I really didn't feel like working out. But I'd made myself do it anyway, even though it took a bit of time, maybe 20-30 minutes to actually get myself started. I did it. And I worked out for about 40 minutes or so. And then I took a cold shower, and then I went out here into my new office. This is where I feel like the most at peace. It's always around nature. I feel like in my house, I have the same thoughts every day in that house. And it's good to get out of that pattern. But yeah, once I got my body moving, I felt a lot better and felt more inspired and motivated to go out and do stuff. So that's what it is. Sometimes you really don't want to do something and you make yourself do it because it's gonna be good for you. I don't know. I guess there's just a lot of uncertainty in my life, and I know at this point that I just have to lean into it and let my life unfold the way it needs to. And while I'm allowing life to unfold, just do what feels right in my heart and my soul in every moment. And if that means go into the woods, if that means read a book, if that means watch a YouTube video, I'm gonna do it because I believe the most important thing is how we feel. But there is a difference between, instant gratification that makes you feel good and versus, working out where in the moment makes you feel pretty uncomfortable. But that's what it is. It's like my soul yearns for discomfort because discomfort is where the growth lies. And it's kind of an interesting truth and paradox that we live in a world where we have to feel uncomfortable in order to grow and, in a way, feel fulfilled. We have to do what is outside of our comfort zone because our souls, in my opinion, inherently want to expand its awareness and its consciousness and its understanding of everything around it. That's growth and expansion is the natural path that all creation wants to take. It's innate urge to grow. And you see that in nature when you watch the flowers bloom in the spring. But that's another thing. It's like, it's all pattern too. It's all a cycle. Because, you're not going to bloom all year long. You're going to bloom for a season. And, a lot of the energy is very extroverted outwards and fiery and energizing. But then in the fall and winter, that's when you go inside. That's when you reflect. That's when you hibernate and cocoon and allow yourself some of that time to regenerate. You need both. And that's what I feel is so beautiful about living in a part of the world that has 4 seasons. It's like I get to experience the high energy of the summer and the sun and the hotness and the freedom and stuff like that. And then, the fall comes along and the energy starts to, die down a little bit. And, all animals start to hibernate and the trees start losing their leaves. And it's like, it's a time of regeneration. And winter, it's where you're reflecting. There isn't as much freedom. That's what I feel like on a micro scale, what I've been going through the past few months, especially right now. It's like just waves of just wanting to be alone and spending a lot of time kind of restructuring my life. Like, for instance, I've been undergoing a lot of limitation lately because my dad just moved in with me, and that comes with its own limitations. But within that, I created more structure in my life. Also, it helped that pretty much half of my friends were out of the country or on vacation or somewhere else. So it allowed me a lot of time to really be disciplined about, waking up earlier in the day and eating better and being more consistent about things. Because before the past few months, all of last year pretty much, there was a lot of freedom and spontaneity, and there's beauty in that too, and growth. But when you're just flying free and there's so much freedom, it's hard to create that discipline and that groundedness. And I feel like I've really cultivated that in the past couple months. And it's really been making me feel fulfilled on a whole other level. Because I've been meaning to wake up consistently every day. I'm still working on it, between 7 and 8 every day. And some days I wake up later, some days I don't. And my eating schedule too, everything's a work in progress. But all I know is that it's like the balance. When you have that balance of structure and discipline, and then you flow, it's kind of like spontaneously using your intuition from one point to another. That's where it is. Everything is in a constant state of trying to find balance again. And when we do find that balance, that's where the peace underlies, I believe, It's where the peace and the fulfillment lies. In a way, it's like the discipline and the structure has given me more freedom, because it's given me like stable footing to be able to go out and be free and not be anxious or not be ungrounded in that freedom. So for instance, like waking up early today, working out, taking a cold shower, and meditating, that gave me the structure and the groundedness to be able to just enjoy the woods right now. The capacity for me to enjoy sitting here amongst the trees and talking to you right now is so much more enhanced by the fact that I did something uncomfortable today that was more disciplined. You know what I mean? So it's giving me the clarity of mind as well to like communicate with you. That too, like when I feel grounded and I feel good and I work out and I do my routine, I feel a lot like it's expressed in how I am to how I be. And I'm just more centered around people and when I communicate. So what you do really does reflect who you are and how you be, But yeah. Another thing I wanted to talk about was like there are days where I find myself like unmotivated and feeling like I want to escape, go to Tulum or hang out with my friends, just like escape the present moment. Where was I going with this? Oh, basically I went for a trip to Newburyport. It's about an hour away from here, a couple weeks ago, just because I wanted to get out of my house, away from everything, and just, I don't know, put myself in a new environment and situation. I think subconsciously, or I don't know, I feel like part of me wanting to escape was to feel better. I think we're always in search to feel better in some way. And that's why, for me, I want to go out on vacation. I want to like have that freedom. I want to be able to do whatever the hell I want. And so basically that weekend ended up being just like whatever. I didn't have the best time, honestly. It just didn't really resonate. It didn't feel like home. And to juxtapose that with the fact that I drove 10 minutes away to a state park near my house to find this beauty. There's a little teepee out of sticks over there that I just found here. I stumbled upon it. Like, I've been to this state park maybe 5 or 6 times, and I went down a path that I never took before just last week, and I stumbled upon that little teepee. It just made me feel so happy that someone took the time, or people took the time, just gather sticks and make a little shelter out of it. I think it's the cutest thing. So it inspired me to, extend the shelter, create my own office here. Basically what I'm trying to say is this place was 10 minutes away from my home, and I feel so much more at peace and fulfilled and happy being here rather than making myself drive an hour away to stay at this creepy Airbnb and I spent like $200 on. I didn't need to do that, and I think that was like my main lesson of going there. I'm just feeling scattered, Right here, it's like you can find home and create home wherever you're at. You don't have to go traveling thousands of miles away. Even that like traveling has its own function, and you learn a crap ton from that too. But what I'm learning is that everything I want and need is in my vicinity, as long as I keep my conscious presence and awareness on just focusing on, I have everything I need and want and more. And when I keep focusing my consciousness on that, I create more. I came out here and I found this little place just out of curiosity, I just followed my intuition. And I didn't have to try so hard. I didn't have to pay anything. I didn't have to. I think people just try too hard to get out of their current circumstances. Like they have to move, they have to. I mean, those things work too, you know. But I'm learning that I don't have to go very far to feel good. I don't have to put that much effort into it. It doesn't matter where I am physically. It matters what my internal state is, you know, and then your physical reality, your environment reflects your internal state. So when I'm feeling good and at peace and fulfilled, that's going to be reflected. That's what I'm going to experience in return, because our environment is a literal physical manifestation of our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions and ideas. It's all projected outwards. So whatever we see around us or experience in our lives is just, it's like a feedback loop. It's letting us know what's going on internally in our minds and our hearts. It's like the external environment and the internal environment are intrinsically tied together. There is no separation there. But what I feel like the modern scientific understanding of the world that we're all like kind of feeding into is like everything outside of us is separate from us. And as long as we keep going down that path of separation, the more we disconnect from nature, who we are, and source, and God, and the universe, because literally the universe is we're all connected by this field, you know. What I do has an effect on the entire universe. I'm gonna go that far to say that, because I believe it does. What you do and how you feel has an effect on the entire universe. With that being said, it's like, oh, my foot's asleep. What you do, every little thing, little emotion, every little belief you have has an effect on the people around you, on your neighbors, on your city, your town, your state, your country, the earth, the universe at large. So what our duty truly is, I believe, is like, gotta work on ourselves and our internal state to cultivate that feeling of peace and fulfillment through, well, one thing, discipline and consistency with the thing that you love to do. For me, it's like the challenge of it, the challenge of learning a new song on the guitar, the challenge of getting that note, you know, in a song, that really high-pitched note, the process, the journey of getting there to the little goals that you set for yourself is really, really fulfilling for me, you know. And it's uncomfortable along the way. You're gonna experience obstacles and you're gonna experience forks in the road, but like, life would be so boring otherwise if it was just a straight path to where you want to go, you know. It's like the twists and the turns and the obstacles and the lions chasing after you that make the path worth journeying, because you learn so much along the way. You enrich your awareness, your consciousness, and your experiences along the way. But yeah, I'm gonna keep building onto this little office here, and yeah, I guess that's it for now, folks.